The other thing I wanted to touch on here is what we saw at the end, and that was the interaction between Barry and Steve Austin. Because, listen, Arn, those two guys would go on to have an incredible feud in 1992, and they spilled buckets of blood. Why do you think the combination of Barry and Austin just works so well together?
Austin is in that Ivan Koloff of keep coming forward no matter what. He's almost like a friggin' robot. And Barry Windham, if you just watched, you saw glimpses of Barry Windham at when he was his best. When he took that phone and went off on the guy's leg, it was crisp and violent, and it was just all those things that Barry Windham was. Barry Windham was another one of the all-time greats, and it looked like he was trying to cripple the guy, and it just worked for the angle.
I love what you said there about Barry being one of the all-time greats. And for those that, maybe not as familiar as Steve Austin's run here in WCW, or maybe even earlier than WCW, what he did in World Class or USWA or wherever he worked in the Texas, federations and the Texas promotions. But he gets to work with guys like Barry Windham. And then you see down the road, Austin eventually is going to work with the Shawn Michaels and the Triple H's and the Undertakers. But one thing that you can't forget is the days of him working with the Dustin Rhodes and the Ricky Steamboats and the Barry Windhams. And how much do you think that helped prepare him for that bigger run in WWF because of the foundation that he had?
Well, absolutely. I mean, he's like Ivan Koloff. I've said before, Ivan Koloff was a guy that was just a machine. He just kept attacking, and if you didn't fight him, he'd eat you up. Austin was kind of same that way. He just kept coming, and he would make you really work hard. You better be in cardio shape. You get in a match with Steve Austin because, buddy, he's going to put the pressure on you.
And I think, too, it's just the grooming of a pro wrestler. And sometimes you don't stop and think about it. We've talked about Dustin. We've talked about Brock. And we talked about, just the grooming period that has to go on for a wrestler as they continue to evolve. And sometimes it's not really, you don't think about it as much. But here we are talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin. I keep saying Stone Cold because, that's what he became famous for. But here we are talking about stunning Steve Austin working with guys and legends like Barry Windham and Ricky Steamboat. And I just want to make sure that, it's out there. That's all what it takes to start building a Hall of Fame career, man.
Yeah, you just keep adding a layer and another layer and another layer. You learn different things by watching the greats perform because they're all different. If you watch all those guys in the ring, they're all different. Their styles are different. Everything they do is different. And that's what you did in those days. You see a lot of repetitive stuff these days, and in the course of a night you may see the same dive 6-7 times. In those days you had 4 or 5 things that you did, and you might not do them all in every match, and it was things that you did well. You wouldn't do stuff that you didn't do well. It was just common sense.